So I'm still pretty new to Raid, but I wanted to test out what is the best way to max out a character in the shortest time possible, whilst also finding how to use that character appropriately to get true benefit. Not so long ago, I managed to pull myself an epic character called Allure, and I heard that Allure is actually very good in the Fire Knight's dungeon. So as you can see, I can go over here now and I can go into stage 21 of Fire Knight's castle, and I can keep this guy TM controlled for the entire time. Let's go through this process from start to finish, how to go ahead, get a character up to the max level, level 50, level 60, 5-star, 6-star, max out their abilities, or at least where you need to, and then identify the ideal stats to have on all of their equipment. Let's do this. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Raid Shadow Legends with me, your boy Scribe. How the devil are we all doing? I hope you are well and juicy today. So, today's topic of discussion is my new character, Allure, over here. You can see she's only level 49. She is 6 stars. I haven't even finished leveling her up appropriately or even honing in her gear perfectly. Okay, I'm still actually missing stuff. I need to farm myself some more artifacts from the spider to get her all the way up there and get some real good gear. So in this process, what did I do? I've taken an Allure straight from 4-star all the way to 6-star. I've managed to ascend her to the maximum, and I was even lucky enough to get a 1 red star on her, enabling me to actually have a blessing on her, which as well is quite nice, right? It's quite nice. So why Allure in this case? Well, I wanted to do a combined video. I'm still very much learning the process of Raid, and I thought we could go on this journey together, right? So I thought, let's talk about how do we get a character to level up to max? How do we talk about getting them fed so they can get up stars, going from 4-star to 5-star to 6-star. In this case, Allure doesn't necessarily need to go to 6 stars, but I wanted to max her out anyway to get the maximum benefit. And then talk about, let's get her ascended, right? Let's get the extra benefits on her skills from having 3-star plus ascended. Let's just go all the way so that we can get all of her artifacts equipped, all that good business. Throw on a red star on her, try to hone in her gear to really wind her in, and see about masteries as well. How should we get her masteries to get the most out of her kit? Amazing. Okay, so first stage first. How do we get a character up to 6-star? But before we actually talk about that, ladies and gentlemen, let's just take one quick moment to say, hey, if you are a brand new player looking to try out Raid Shadow Legends, please do download it through my link in the description down below, or by scanning my QR code in the corner over there. Brand new players doing this from new accounts, has to be new accounts, will actually be able to benefit from a set of characters as they progress, and these characters are actually coming to play in this video, or at least a couple of them are. For example, if you are downloading through my QR code, you will immediately be able to get yourself Tholin Foulbeard over here, and you will see in a moment how I've used this character to help me max out my Allure. Fantastic, able to clear through all of the campaign, all the way up to Nightmare mode, able to do really good work as well within the clan bosses. Once you hit level 10, you'll also be able to get yourself the epic unit Stag Knight. I use him as well extensively during all of my, well, pretty much every single game mode that I go into. He's a really good AoE debuffer and buffer. Good support unit. Once you get to level 20, you'll be unlocking the epic unit Ugo. I don't actually have him on my account, but I hear he's a very solid support type unit. And when you get to level 30, you will get this beast called Tagore. I love Tagore. He is an AoE healer, AoE reviver, absolutely phenomenal support with a really strong aura leadership that gives you additional health, helps you with that survivability, ties into the rest of his kit. Amazing. Okay, cool. So let us continue then. How do we go about doing this? Campaign. First of all, if you want to really try to level up your units, but not only just level up your individual units, like we're talking about taking our Allure up to level 60 in this case, you want to have gone all the way up to Brutal, preferably up to stage 6 in my experience, but stage 3 works as well. The difference between stage 6 and stage 3 is that stage 3 is a little bit more beneficial to you in terms of earning silver, and you are going to need millions of silver in order to max out your equipment, your artifacts, which really drives the power behind your characters, okay? Stage 3 gives you a little bit more silver based on what the items that you're getting. These actually sell for a little bit higher, but stage 6 gives you slightly more experience. It's a little bit more. You might want to do stage 3 instead. So what you'd normally do is you would go into this stage and you would find some units, some low star units, 2 stars usually is what I tend to go for, and you would try to max them out to each tier, right? we've got Allure over here. I'm still slowly taking her up to 60. So let's go find a low tier unit over here. What have we got? We've got a 2-star unit here and a 2-star unit here. Okay. You want to be able to go in. You could super raid this to make it a little bit quicker. Take them into this battle and then just clear it out. We're using Tholin here. Tholin is just carrying this hard. Obviously, you need to have a maxed out Tholin at this point. Get him up to 6 stars, get him level 60, put some really good artifacts on him, and he's going to carry the rest of the waves. It doesn't matter if your other units actually perish here, because once you finish it, they're all going to gain experience. As you can see over here, these guys are just leveling up and leveling up and leveling up right away. Really, really easy. So for a 2-star unit, their level cap is at level 20. Once you get them to level 20, you want to then you want to rank them up to 3-star, get them up to level 30. Then go ahead and get them up to 4 stars, then get them to level 40, etc, etc. Now I'm using Lura in here just because she still needs experience to get to level 60. You don't need it for the use case that I'm using Xaereth for, okay? So I did this a lot. Not gonna lie, I did this a lot to try and make sure that I had enough food to rank up my Allure. Once I'd ranked up my Allure, I was looking to get her to Ascension level 6-star as well. So that enables you to equip the bottom row of artifacts, giving you more access to more boosting stats essentially, as well as some benefits to her skills. So what is Ascension? Ascension essentially is another way of adding additional core stats to your character's base stats, but also has some impact on some of your skills. For example, this one over here gets an additional bonus to its ability when you've got it to 3-star Ascension. It also allows you to equip this bottom row over here, this bottom row of artifacts, which gives you access to more stat gains essentially. It's absolutely important to get all of these, right? In order for you to get these Ascension up, you'll have to use the keeps in the dungeon. Now each character, well not each character, there are different dungeons for different units. I'll just show you over here using Chancellor Yasmin over here. So you go to Ascend and you can see that they require a certain type of potion and a different type of potion. Now the white ones are used by all of them, and then the other ones are used essentially by the type of the character, okay? So Allure herself is a spirit type unit. So in order to get her potions, we need to go to the Spirit Keep and the Arcane Keep. This is where you farm the white ones. Just go in as high as possible. Once again, I'm using characters like Tholin over here to really help me clear. I'm using Pelops as well, Tagore over here, units that you will be able to get, right? You farm out those high level potions. It takes a little bit of time, but once you've done that, just throw all of them on and you will max out those Ascension stars as well. The red stars are a little bit trickier. You have to get it through the Altar of Souls over here by, you know, just summoning and hoping for the best. You might find Allure in here within the merchant. Hard to say, it's completely RNG. I just got a little bit lucky and it let me use the blessings, but you don't need it for this use case, all right? Finally, masteries. Masteries are really, really good ways of getting some additional power out of your characters. Now, Allure in particular, her core ability, her basic over here is what we're really looking for, all right? Attacks 3 times at random, decreases the target's turn meter by 25% on each critical hit. So that immediately tells us there's a couple of things that we need to focus on, right? We need speed, so she goes a lot. We need to give her a high level of crit chance, over 100% essentially, so that she's always critically hitting. And when she's critically hitting, she's going to decrease turn meter. And because turn meter is a debuffing effect, we need to make sure that our accuracy stat is very, very high. So with that in mind, we need to go ahead and try and find a couple of things within the masteries. Anything that's going to increase our critical rate is good. Anything that is going to increase our accuracy to land that turn meter down is going to be very, very useful, okay? So this is the setup that I went to. I'm just seeing here that my head is in the way, so I'll put myself in the middle. This is the setup that I went to. I went to Hell Hades' website and I looked for Allure and I just went for the most recommended PvE setup for her masteries and I just applied that to her. Now, how do you get these masteries? There's 2 ways. 2 ways of earning masteries. First and foremost, you can just go into the masteries and you can click down here and you can actually just fully unlock all the masteries for 800 crystals. That just gets you all of them straight away. Note, for you to get that final tier, you do actually need to be 6 stars. I don't think that this is absolutely necessary at all. I don't think her masteries in general are necessary, but if you can get things like additional crit rate over here, or additional accuracy, those things are going to be really, really solid. Now, if you don't have or don't want to use 800 crystals on a character, you're going to have to go to dungeons, and you're going to have to go to the Minotaur's Labyrinth. In the Minotaur's Labyrinth, you will be able to earn scrolls for your characters that are participating in that battle. It's ideal to go ahead and fight this Minotaur only with a lure that needs masteries, essentially. So if the rest of your team have already maxed out their masteries, only a lure will be getting the drops for these scrolls, and it'll make that process a little bit quicker. It does turn out to be a little bit more efficient to do it this way, rather than just using your crystals straight up. I think you save about 100 crystals, roughly on average, if you are farming it this way. The good thing is, you can also level her up by fighting her in here. Okay, it's a very slow process. It won't really accelerate you very far, but you're already having to go in here and fight the Minotaur regardless, so you might as well get some of the levels for her just by doing this. The final and most important part, of course, for building these characters is going to be your equipment. Now, think back, when we were talking about how to build this girl, we talked about 2 touch points. We want speed, we want accuracy, and we want crit chance, okay? So my crit rate over here, right at the end, is at 97%, so she's almost guaranteed to critically hit every single time she does an ability. Apart from that, I've got her accuracy right now to 185. I would really like this to be more like 220, somewhere like that, to really guarantee that that turn meter strip happens. And then her speed right now is 195. I would like more speed, but I'm still early game. I haven't played a lot. I don't have a lot of equipment. As you can see right now, I'm actually using 2 speed sets, or 1 speed set and a half, and a potency set. In an ideal world, I would have a speed set boot, or preferably I would have two sets of accuracy over here, with a speed primary, crit rate, and potentially, I don't know, maybe some crit damage or accuracy again on the substats, but I don't quite have that, so I'm just using the best that I possibly can. And you can see, like I said, over here, I still don't have a necklace for her. I need to farm the Spider's Den a little bit more. So with all that in place, let's go ahead and show how this actually goes down in Fire Knight's Castle. I'm actually going to go in on stage 21. The reason I'm going on stage 21 is because Allure is a spirit type unit, and you don't want to take in a spirit type unit on tier 20 because that is, you know, going to give you a type disadvantage, which means you've got a 30% chance of actually having a weak hit, or 30 or 33% chance of doing a weak hit, which means you will never crit and you will not be able to apply that turn meter reduction. So I definitely don't want to go in on this stage. Instead, I'm going to go up 1 stage to 21, and at stage 21, we have that added benefit of having a type advantage now instead. Let's go in and take a look. I'm using my Lysandra as a leadership. I like her aura skill, giving me additional 24% speed is really fun for me because it means more turns with Allure, which gives her more chances at stripping that turn meter. More turns for everybody, truth be told. I don't think this is an ideal setup. Far from it. I'm just making use of what I have with my early game account. So we're just going to go through the early phases. It takes me a little while because my units aren't particularly great right now. So we'll just skip this ahead and I'll see you once we get to the Fire Knight. Alright, so here we go. All we need to do is try to make sure that the Fire Knight has got his shields down and that we can get some turns with Allure to do her basic. Now, from what I've understood about how her AI works, is if the enemy Fire Knight over here has over 30% turn meter, she'll only ever use her basic in an attempt to strip that turn meter away, okay? The also handy thing about Lysandra here is she can also strip turn meter, which is really, really handy, okay? So every time you can see over here, she's critically hitting and she's stripping away that turn meter. We're getting a little bit of an advantage here as well because we do have a typing advantage with Allure, so she's more likely to land crits, she's more likely to strip turn meter, which is really, really useful. You can see that the Fire Knight over here is having a hard time actually trying to take a turn. Every time Allure takes a basic, she is stripping her down. Not quite enough, I don't think, for us to have a complete loop here versus the Fire Knight. I don't think we will make it so that he never takes a turn, but we are doing enough turn meter reduction that it really delays him. Look at that, he was right about to take a turn there, and that turn meter just got stripped all the way down. So just about getting there, and we've managed to do really significant amounts of damage there, and once again he's been turn meter stripped. That's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So he's managed to go back up. Pelops over here is really helping us with the fire shield or whatever it is, so that it reflects damage back at him, making it quicker to take down the shield once he puts it back up as well. And hopefully you can just leave this on full auto and eventually you will clear through. It usually, I think, takes me about 6.5 minutes, something like that, to clear through this, which obviously isn't great timing, but I will take it for my early account. I personally think this is actually a really good investment. Really enjoyed being able to use a lure like this. Obviously there are better units, but sometimes in Raid you just have to work with the characters that you manage to get lucky and pull. So I will certainly be grateful for this. I'm pretty sure he's not going to take another turn here, because you can see she's constantly stripping it away. I haven't done any sort of calibration for the abilities on these characters. Haven't changed anything. They're just using their base AI to tackle this guy, which is really handy because I don't have to think about it. Obviously, if I had more speed on a lure, a little bit more crit chance, as well as a little bit more accuracy, we would never have to worry at all, I don't think. I believe the general rule of thumb is based on the level of the event you're going into. So I'm on level 21 here. You want 10 times that in accuracy. So she should be at about 210 plus accuracy to really guarantee that we never miss a single turn meter reduction. Hers is right now at 185, so you can still get it to work even if you are not perfect. Like I said, we also are getting a bit of a benefit from being having a typing advantage over here. So that's kind of working in our favor as well. You might want to adopt the same process. You can see we're about 6.5 minutes here, and it looks like we're about to finish up. I think the Fire Knight took a couple of turns. Looks like we didn't land a crit there, even with 97% crit. So you really, really, really do want to have over the 100% crit chance to really try and make sure that you always land those crits and always get that decreased turn meter with your accuracy being high enough. There you go, 6 minutes and 52 seconds. Obviously not the quickest, but it was relatively stress-free there, right? Like I said, using my download link or the QR code in the top corner over there, you'll be able to get yourself access to Tholin straight away. And then once you get to, I believe it's level 30, you will get Tagore, who is a great support unit. Really does keep me in the game. Alrighty, if this video was useful to you, please do give it a like. Leave me a comment in the comment section down below. I need loads of advice when it comes to Raid Shadow Legends, guys. I've not been playing very long, and there is a lot to learn, so help me out. Any advice you got in the comments, let me know. I will see you all in the very next video. Peace out, and big love.